Welcome to Go For Side Effects. I'm your host, Kevin Simon. You all know my co-host, Wade. I want to welcome back Colonel Frank. I want to welcome back his troops. Exciting episode like we had last week. This a little bit more intel. We get into some more stuff. I really enjoyed that. 101st Airborne is a great division that I'm proud to have known them and Colonel Frank Hancock for the last few weeks. It's been exciting. But right before we get to the show, I would like each and every one of y'all to look at the QR code that is up in the box behind me. That QR code is Dr. Glum, the one who wrote the ICD codes, helped write them. She does research. She's been doing this since 1994 with us. I want to thank her for everything, she and her team is doing for the Go For veterans out there. Y'all scan it, go and give her a call, fill out the information. It's done from your home. You go get blood work. It's easy. She sends you a kit. I'm doing it. Wade's doing it. So please join us, each and every one of y'all. And here now is part 2.
Yeah, so that was my biggest one, but I know where you guys were at, looking by the map that we had talked on the phone before. Did you guys ever have rotations, or did you rotate troops back when the phone banks actually came available? I have a method to my madness for the question. When AT&T set up their phone banks, did any of your guys, did they get to go back?
If I remember, there was one there. There was a Camp Eagle that had a bunch of phones, and you had to wait in line, and you got 10 minutes.
That's all I remember, Jerry. Now they did bring over a Mars setup at one point, and we had folks, because I didn't get in on the phone bank until my mom got sick. I got to go do that then, but otherwise it was the Mars, and that's kind of a ham radio using Army signal assets to tie into that.
Yeah. So when you're talking and you have to say over every time?
Yep.
On that, the regular phone, it was just a delay, just like a long. I remember I talked to my folks in like October or late September, said, "Okay, we got here," and then I talked to them again when we got pulled out in like March when we came back to Camp Eagle. So yeah, you had to wait in line. It could be God knows how long, and you got 10 minutes, and they'd come and tap you on the shoulder and go, "You got 2 minutes," and you're like, "All right, gotta go," so yeah, it was kind of that's all I remember.
I'm just watching it from a perspective of my daughter's husband being deployed currently, how we had it back then, 30 days to get a letter, 30 days to get a package, care package. But now I'm watching as, she can pick up her cell phone and literally call her husband on her cell phone.
Yeah.
That just blows my mind.
My son was deployed to Afghanistan in 2018 or whatever, and he's walking around with his phone, FaceTime, and walking around. I was like, oh my God. It was like 12 days I was time between me and my folks getting a letter to them or getting a letter from them. It took about 12 days. So think about that with what Frank was talking about, family support group and all that. This is pre-email. The internet hadn't been invented yet. There were no cell phones. There was no YouTube. Right. There was no none of that. You had to write letters. How are you going to get information? And that was probably one of the biggest problems they ran into back there, and we did too, was like these idiotic rumors that would get started.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God, some of the crap they came up with, like, what are you talking about? And you had to quell that shit.
Rumor control was horrible.
Yeah, it was nutsy cuckoo. And the staff, the boss and the son, they did the best they could. Like, what's the latest rumor? Well, sir, we heard this. All right, that's bullshit. That ain't going to happen. You heard it from me. Like, that's not, he would go around, he and the sergeant major would go around to the companies and go, okay, what do you got? Sir, we heard we're going home at Christmas and the 10th Mountain Division's coming. Yeah, not going to happen. Next.
Yeah. Frank even incorporated into our command and staff meetings.
Yes,
I remember that. We had the very tail end. All right, what are the rumors in the companies? And he and the sergeant major would address them so we could go back and say, look, this is what the boss said.
Yeah, not happening. Well, I heard. Okay, well, I just heard from the battalion commander that's bullshit. All right, so
rumors sap morale.
Crazy. I do remember that one. Yeah, 10th Mountain Division's coming and we're going home.
Yeah, that going home by Christmas rumor about killed us, because that would not die. That was the rumor that would not die. We beat it with a ball bat for 3 months, and
it would not go away.
Until Christmas came and went.
Yeah.
No one.
Yeah, we're still going
would
home by
listen.
Christmas. Yeah. Okay. What year? What year Christmas are you talking about? Because it just went, but we're still here. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, the mail, the packages, all the stuff that we received over there. Man, I saved all. I got a box here. I get the little MRE box, put the mail in there that I got from Aunt so and so or whatever. But the care packages that were received, talk about food, we would get all sorts of different things. And it was great. The amount of support. That's one thing. And I've gone to a lot of these people's funerals, which is terrible. These people who passed away now that sent us so much stuff.
Yep.
You will never forget all these different things you sent. And then I got the Omaha World Herald. It would come in like a little bag, whatever. So it was 2 weeks later, but I couldn't believe the amount of support we were getting from back home. That's the one thing gosh, my dad didn't get this from the Vietnam War. Look what we're getting.
Yeah, it was astounding. Yep.
It was, because when I was in, what I thought was really cool, and me and Wade, I've been wanting to find somebody who had got a buddy letter. You know, all the schools in America that wrote the soldiers, the sailors, you know, that was fantastic. I always thought that was cool. And then I remember all the high school and elementaries would send me care packages.
Yep.
And the biggest thing they would send me is bubble gum. You know, and then somebody sent me a thing so I could write letters back home. I was like, absolutely freaking nice.
It was amazing. It was astounding. The amount. Just the amount of, all kinds. They would send you stuff. They would send. I mean, you know, the soldiers, you know, they want dip. You know, they want Copenhagen. So you guys were getting rolls of Copenhagen. They were getting smokes. They're you know, it was really, really cool. It really was cool.
Didn't we have one of the school teachers whose class wrote us come to the battalion after we redeployed?
Yes.
And visit the battalion. I think her class was from New Hampshire or something. I can't remember.
Something like that. God dang, I wish I could remember who it was.
I wish I could remember the names, but I remember it was a big deal. You know, she was escorted around and everything else.
Yeah, we made a big production out of it because she really went above and beyond. Yeah.
Hey, Kevin, one great story. There's a guy by the name of John Soklik. He was in the mortar platoon, and he wasn't getting much at all. He wasn't getting much mail. So there was some letters from Lone Oak High School. Well, I said, hey, write to these people, right? I was writing to these girls, writing to this class and everything. He ended up writing to this girl. Her name was Rhonda. He ended up getting married to that woman. They've been married for close to 30 years now, and they got 3 beautiful kids. I went with it. So how about that? I said, because the chaplain knew me, and he says, Rich, here, have some of your people that are not getting mail, write to these people. He ended up getting married to one of those people, still married today.
Man, that is freaking, awesome. That is awesome.
That is awesome.
Boss, I think that happened to Chris Reed.
Yes.
I'm almost positive.
Really?
I'm almost positive his wife is was a pen pal. Yep. I'm pretty sure. I'm about 90% sure. Yeah.
And it's just one interesting thing about, and I think Jesus, did you go to San Mateo, Jesus?
Oh yeah.
No, I did not.
So this is an interesting, it'll take 30 seconds. During the Vietnam War, there was a young girl named Linda Artavia, and her brother was in Alpha Company 1st 327th, and he got killed. She proceeded to go unauthorized to South Vietnam because he had written to her before he was killed that he wanted to San Mateo to support Alpha Company, Ken's company. This is in 1968 during the counter-10 offensive. So she goes, after he is killed, she goes over there and proceeds to take Sons of San Mateo medallions to Alpha Company 1st 327th.
I still got mine.
Nobody knows she's coming. She has $17 and she goes there. Okay. Her escort officer over there, a guy named Steve Patterson, will later marry her. Fast forward to 1990, as we're getting ready to deploy, I get a phone call from her. I don't know who the hell she is. She's in San Mateo, and she says, "Can I support you?" And then she gives me the background about her brother, right? And I go, "Yeah, sure." I wasn't sure. When we got there, every person in the battalion had at least 3 pen pals from San Mateo. It was unbelievable. This is the truth. My battalion had more mail when we got there than the entire division. The G1 told me that. And so throughout that whole time frame, Linda Patterson in San Mateo, California supported us. When the war is over, they invite us out. There you go. It's what is it? A angel? What is it again?
Dove among eagles.
A dove among angels. That's her brother up there at the top. So when it's over, San Mateo, California throws a parade for us. We go out there. There's 50,000 people at the parade. It's on the 4th of July.
Independence Day weekend.
Yep.
There is not a dry eye on anybody. I'm crying. All the troops are crying. People are crying. And it was kind of like a cathartic, hey, we did this wrong for the folks during the Vietnam War. We're not going to do it wrong now. But that's in the book. There's about 2 or 3 pages about Linda Patterson and San Mateo. She's like a force of nature. And San Mateo is the greatest city. That's right, the greatest city in the world as far as I'm concerned.
An interesting side note is Alpha Company was the only infantry company that was welcomed back and had a parade after Vietnam, after they came back. And so they did that for just our company at the end of Vietnam. So I had some because I was the commander, I had some contacts with them. I fell in on this, but I never imagined anything like this would happen. So I hadn't said anything to Frank. So he got cold called by Linda Patterson. And it was one of those things where it's like, really? And so the battalion pretty much went. And it was, it was great.
We sent the battalion roster. That's how they got it out there.
That's right.
Yes,
that's right.
The whole damn 700 people. Hey, can you get that? And she got them. We had like 3. I think all total, I had like 10 or 11 pen pals from San Mateo. It was just incredible.
It was actually astounding. Yeah, it really was amazing.
Yes, it was.
Yep. And we're still in contact with folks. Yeah, she's still a big supporter of 1st of 327. She's still a big supporter of a lot of military organizations, and she's still doing what she's doing. And great lady, incredible.
Great.
They got a museum to the A Company and the 1st Battalion in their library back in San Mateo.
Yep.
Wow, that is amazing. When I got back,
there
were 50.
We got these pins. Still got it. So
there were 50 people on the pier when I got back. They're holding American flags, and we thought that was awesome.
Yeah, it was cool. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and then when I got back to Texas, when I came back, when I first got back, my mom was showing me pictures of, the Capitol having red ribbons, yellow ribbons around it. Everybody put yellow ribbons around the oak trees and all that.
Yeah. Yep.
And I thought that was fantastic.
Well, it's interesting. We got back to Campbell Army Airfield there, and we got them. There were families out there. There's like, oh my God, they're waving for whatever. And I'm just this single lieutenant. I'm just like standing over there. I'm like, all right, okay, that's pretty cool. And
that lost his apartment in the deployment.
Exactly. I slept on my desk that night. So, we're standing there, and over here, there's a couple of Vietnam vets, like 2-3 guys, and I just kind of I walk over there. I'm like, hey guys, appreciate I said, hey, I'm really sorry that you didn't get this when you came home. I said, that's really, we really missed the ball on that. And the guy, he looks at me, he goes, that's okay. He goes, you didn't have anything to do with that. He goes, we just want to make sure that shit never happens again.
Yeah.
Said, well, we appreciate it. It's cool. And it shouldn't have happened once, but it did. But let's not ever do that shit again. So I thought that was pretty cool. They're out there and they're like, welcome home. Glad you made it home. And it was good. It was nice. It was good.
Man, that is fantastic.
Yeah.
I mean, I heard of the parades. I didn't get to see them, but I heard of the parades. But what I liked was the warm welcome when I got back. I really did. because none of us knew what was it going to be like, because we remember what it was like for the Vietnam guys.
Sure. No, exactly. And it very well could have been
the
exact same thing all over again. But, so many things were different times. Those guys came back more individually than as units. Like we all came back together. So it's kind of, it was a different, the mood of the nation was different. And I hope that in the intervening years, we have fixed that and we've unfucked that and we don't do that anymore,
But even before everything happened, I mean, look at the crowds when we had our convoys that were going down to Florida, the amount
Jacksonville.
of people that were all over. The bridges were full of people. I mean, this is before anything ever happened. We're going to Jacksonville, Florida, to bring our vehicles from Fort Campbell, and the whole place is lined with people yelling USA and God bless America and all this. Man, it was enough to make your hair stand up again after all these years.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
So what was the first thing y'all wanted to eat when y'all got back?
Ken, what was my go-to place, man?
Oh man, I can't remember, Jerry. You're going to kill me, but I can't remember. I was trying to think right when you asked that.
463-6703 is the phone number to the Domino's Pizza on 41.
Domino's Pizza. Yeah.
I dialed them up. I was eating there like every other night when I was a lieutenant. They're like, "Dude, where you been?" I'm like, "Well, shit, man, didn't you hear? The whole division was gone." I mean, I was so.
Kid, what was yours?
So that night in the orderly room, and I slept on my desk.
Yeah. The first thing I wanted, or the first thing I had?
First thing you wanted. Not what you had.
Wanted was a good ribeye steak.
There you go, Richard.
Not mystery meat. Something I really know what it is.
Legit.
And it tastes good and it's legit. Because God loved the cooks, but it just ain't the same.
Yeah. All right, Richard, what was yours?
I remember going back to Omaha, and my mom made this huge thing of mostaccioli and meatballs and Italian sausage. I cleaned the entire thing, and I said, "Gosh, can I get I almost did 2 of them, but yeah, Italian food. Having Italian food, good Sicilian Italian food." And my mom, we all gained weight. We all came back. We all gained a little bit of weight.
Hey,
Well, for me, I was a single guy, so went down the road and went to KFC, man. And that's all I had. I really wanted some Puerto Rican food, but there's no Puerto Rican food in Campbell, so KFC was it.
How about you, Wade?
My roommate actually was a Puerto Rican, and we were both single. We got home after we got released. All right, so speaking of that, don't you think that's weird? I'm sure you guys did the same thing. So you guys landed at your airfield. We landed at Pope Air Force Base. Mm-hmm. They get us back to the battalion area, get back in your companies, give you a little safety briefing. You're released. That's it.
Yeah.
You just came back from a conflict. War.
It's funny. They trucked us back to the company area, and there was a couple replacements that had come in to Fort Campbell while we were gone.
We come in the
door, and it's like, we got to get these weapons put away, and they're just kind of looking whatever. And I remember I turned around and I just I think it's still in the book. I just yelled, "Kelly," and I was calling Sergeant Kelly Hewitt, who had been the company armorer during the deployment, and he made sergeant, became a team leader. And I turned around and yelled, and he was standing right there. And he just goes, "I got this, sir." And he goes, and he just went in the arms room and was like, "All right, y'all shut up and stand over there." And we just took weapons in. And quick safety briefing. The guys who lived in the barracks, they went up to the barracks, and the guys who lived off post, they went off post. My apartment it wasn't there anymore. I had put myself in storage. So like I said, I got a pizza and I slept on my desk.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Just turning guys loose,
Yeah. Well, that's just it. The single guys. You're drinking beer in the shower. You're getting cleaned up. You're heading out, and you're heading to the strip joint. We go in,
or wherever.
That's the first place I was heading. Damn straight. I'm tired of looking at camels and goats.
Yeah.
And
camels and goats.
It's got 9 months of pay we couldn't spend. We got money.
Yeah, you got a bunch of loaded Joes.
Yep.
Like,
and that's what Joe does.
That's right.
Yes.
Yeah.
But
if I remember correctly, I don't remember any stupid incident. Everybody came back next day. We all went on leave.
Nope.
Okay, I just for 1 second. We tried to decompress them before they came back a little bit, right? Because you have folks that are getting reunited with their wives. Yeah. And folks who are not going to get reunited with their wives.
Yep.
Right. You got all kinds of things that are going on. So we sat down and talked to folks maybe for 2 days. In saying that, I'm not sure you can decompress them a lot. Like you said, they've been gone for 9 months. They haven't seen the only thing they've seen is a Newsweek magazine that had a girl on the front of it with her arms magic marked out, right? So it is what it is, right? You try to say, hey, don't be stupid, and then let them go. Because it was quick. It was, we're there.
Real quick.
Turn your shit in and go, and I'll see you in 30 days.
Yep.
That's what it was like.
No, absolutely.
Which it should.
We'd had 2 or 3 weeks to clean all our stuff, to clean weapons, clean gear, everything. Yeah. So there was nothing really to do except turn it in when you got back.
Turn it in. Yeah. Turn it in and get going. Yeah.
See, for us,
I don't know that the armies or the military has really kind of figured that out. In this day and age, with air travel being what it is, you're in a combat zone, and then a few hours later, you're home, and that's. I don't know that we've.
Yeah,
that's just the nature of that beast right there. I don't know if you could really.
It ain't any better.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Jerry, you did the same thing I did. You did the transition team thing. We formed up an ad hoc transition team in 2006. We came back in 2007. Both of them were from North Fort Hood. We come back within 18 hours. We never see each other again.
Yep.
And you're gone. You're on an airplane.
Exactly.
You know, the difference in what we did in Desert Storm is you're part of a unit. You're going on leave and you're coming back together.
Right.
But these ad hoc units, and oh, by the way, the actual units that were over in Iraq and Afghanistan, they were stabilized till they got home. Once they got home, everybody got orders.
Yeah.
They're gone.
Yeah.
And they got to reform new brigades and new battalions.
Yeah. Exactly.
So no, we haven't got any better at it as far as I can tell.
Yeah.
No, I agree with that. I don't think we've gotten better at it all. No. At all. You know, because a lot of these guys, I try to explain to their spouses or explain to the parents, like they're not coming home the same. They're not going to be that guy that just went.
Yeah.
And, you know, and so, but Colonel, I'm going to ask you, what was the one thing you're looking for to eat?
I wanted to go to a buffet place where I could have
what the heck?
all I wanted, and whatever it was, I wanted.
Slop the hogs. That's what a strap on the feet.
I was looking forward to gumbo.
Was that the Golden Corral in Canton and Clarkston?
Golden Corral.
There was a bunch of buffet places. I went to all of them, to be honest.
Nose in the trough.
I just wanted to pig out. Yes.
You know, you got Domino Pizza, KFC. That's the one thing I'm telling you. I said, no way that I was like, we got back. I saw McDonald's. I was excited to see that.
Oh, yeah.
But a KFC, I might have said, no. But I mean, with all y'all being over there and all y'all, the camaraderie that y'all have now, this was a perfect unit right here. I mean, all y'all seem.
It was close.
Yeah, you may be right. You know, we had the pieces were all there. The pieces were all there, and then the summer of 1990, the final pieces, the Frank and then Sergeant Major Riley were the two things that were missing. All those other pieces had been there. The company commanders, the staff guys, the lieutenants, the soldiers were always great. We never had enough of them, but I mean, they were good soldiers, good NCOs. All that was there. Kind of like the, in Stripes when he talks about being a big toe. You know, I think we were missing that Sergeant Holka's big toe, but we got it, and it was. Are there other units like that out there? Yeah, sure, probably. I imagine so. But this one was it was special. It clicked. We clicked.
Yeah, just when I look at Rich and I look at Jesus, right? These were professionals. Yep. He was a professional PFC and he was a professional sergeant. They were so well. No, you guys were so well trained, so that at the level that they were dealing with, like I tell people, what army would stop an air assault and deviate it on the word and the analysis of an E5? Jesus came up with it. He sold it, and so how many people got saved because of him? His ability to freaking do it, right? And to think through at the ripe old age of 26.
Yeah.
And Rich is kicking ass at 19, right? He knows, you can hear him in his voice. Yeah, we're going to do this. We're going to do that. We'll just sit down there and wherever Frank Hancock wants his stuff, we're going to bring it. Well, they're a bunch of 19-year-old kids, but they're professional 19-year-old kids. And I think that was what was different about that Army, that 1990-91 Army. Like, we had 17 years to say we're going to beat the Soviets. In 1990, we'd have beat the Soviets like a drum, right? And it just happened to be Hussein's army that got the ass kicking.
If I could add one thing, I said a minute ago, there's magic units, but I don't think I've ever been in a unit other than under Frank's command that was this magic. And the reason I say that is there were several things that could very easily have torn apart that teamwork. The Army always tries to help you. And we were under strength when Frank got there. My company had like 90 some people. That was it. Mm-hmm. We had a whole bunch of people, and we were authorized 132. We had people all over the place. Well, we got them back, but still we only had about 90 some odd. I had E5s as squad leaders. I had E4s as team leaders. E6s. I had one E7 platoon sergeant. The rest were E6s, staff sergeants.
Yep.
And about a month after we get into Kuwait in Desert Storm, the Army reaches out to every TRADOC institution in the world and fills us to the correct rank. So we had to absorb all these E7s, E6s, and E5s into our companies, grow up to about, I think we have eventually had like 145 on the books.
Yeah, thereabouts, yeah.
And yet still maintain the cohesion. Trying to explain to a E5 squad leader why he's no longer good enough to be the squad leader in the Army's view, and he's being replaced by an E6 that's been at the Air Defense Command for 3 years. That's tough. And every company went through that, and Frank had to deal with that, and so did Rock. And we still managed to get through it, and I never saw the unit lose any of that magic I refer to. And that's a testament to everyone in that unit, from private all the way up to Colonel Hancock.
Yeah, that was tough. That
was very tough.
Yeah, very difficult. But
that's amazing.
Yeah,
it's nice. It's nice to hear that y'all can praise our company. Our captain, which in charge of us, he extended us extra 6 months. We weren't happy with him at all. Everybody, he wanted to make admiral at that time. Mm-hmm. He made admiral, all right. And so, Wade, do you have any other questions?
I think I'm good on my questions for tonight. I did have one more. I made a comment in one of the previous podcasts about Desert Storm being a big testing ground for all our new toys. A couple of things I had mentioned that was new was remember the GPS. The first
remember that, Ken?
The slugger.
About this big, weighed about 10 pounds.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering. There's a couple other things. It wasn't a laser. It was a sight that you can only see with your MVGs. Put it on your rifle.
Little PAC-4 thing it hooked on there.
Only like squad leaders and above, maybe 2 leaders and above got them.
Yeah. Got them in like October, November, something like that. Yeah, we were playing around with them.
I was like playing around with them. I was wondering if there was anything else you guys could remember that was new?
I specifically remember landing on the landing zone there, and we heard
LZ X-ray.
LZ X-ray. We heard like fire going up, but it wasn't coming at us. So okay, that's okay. And there was like somebody was getting stonked over on that ridge, and the Black Hawk flew away trailing hydraulic flow. Okay, fine. And it was like, okay, but it wasn't coming. Okay. And I walked over to Ken where his guys were, the helicopters went away. And he goes, well, shit, T, you ain't gonna believe this, man. They put us down right where we're supposed to be. Like, cause he had that big old slugger thing. Yeah, he goes,
8-digit grids.
Put us down 8-digit grid right where we're supposed to be. And I'm like, well, shit, that is amazing. They couldn't do that crap at Campbell for crying out loud. Somehow they found it in the middle of this, nowhere. I'm like, that's pretty impressive. Okay, well, that's pretty good stuff. Yeah. But the MRE heaters, you remember getting issued those? That was
Yeah.
That was new.
MRE heaters.
They weren't always in the MRE. It was like
the MRE heaters. Yeah,
it was a new thing that they started. Now they're all in every MRE, but back then they were separate. Remember the bread shelf stable came in a little.
Oh yes,
that was good. That was good stuff right there.
That was actually good.
Yeah. What other? Yeah, I remember them little. It was called an Pack 4 or something like that. It was a little aiming light thing, and you had to be had nods on, but you could see. Yeah.
I mean, they issued us all kinds of stuff that, the parkas, the desert parkas, things like that.
Desert parka, they were cool. I forgot that. That was cool.
That was probably the best piece of right there. That was good stuff.
Yeah, that was really good.
Yeah, we didn't go in there.
As far as weapon systems, we went. I remember going to the live fire range, and they gave us all the old stockages of missiles.
Yeah.
And so between the dragon gunners and the tow gunners, there were rounds going up in the air and everywhere.
Yeah,
because it was cold. That's what we were training with. So it gave everybody a lot of confidence in our equipment as going forward.
There's an interesting part in the book about what Ken was talking about, those missiles. And we had the generals out there watching it. And these missiles are going like straight up in the air and on right degree turns. And I'm looking at the tow company commander like, what the fuck? He's like, oh, Al Gill, he was funny. He says, old missile. And it was funny. Just one other point. What made this really so different and people ought to pay attention to it was the threat of chemical. We mentioned in the book, we got exposed. We had sarin gas. That's sarin gas and mustard gas. Ken wrote about it. I wrote about it in the NBCs, and it made everything so difficult because you always had to, can we decontaminate? And the answer was no, we can't. We can't. There's no water to do this. So what we're going to do is we're going to walk about 5 kilometers and try to take this shit off without getting ourselves killed. Right. It was just so hard. And I always believe since he blew up his oil wells, he had the ability or the mindset to slime us with chemical weapons. But everywhere we went, you had to carry your mop gear, which made your rucksack, whatever, 25, 30 pounds more heavy because of the boots and the mask and the everything that you've got going with it. So that was always something that I've told people. I said, you don't understand. Every time a scud came our way, we went to mop, right? And for damn good reason, right? We just didn't want to die out there of sarin or mustard gas.
On the 4th of February, we had 3 large explosions by our mortar platoon. And the first thing we did, masks on.
That was the battle drill. And when that happened, you put that shit on fast.
Yeah, that I think that was the same day that we were going up to the border to change out with another company. And they had shot some, I don't know, 80 millimeter, 88 millimeter, ADA rounds over. And it hit around y'all's mortar platoon. It hit next to our convoy going up and all over the place. Same thing. First thing I see is Rock in mop gear waving his hands, doing the, mask when that thing went off. So,
you remember the time we were up there and that shit happened? They fired I don't know, a couple things like ba-boom, ba-boom, ba-boom. They fire like a couple of whatever, and they went off, and freaking Riley's like standing there. He like takes his floppy hat off, and he's got his hands on his hips, and he's got this, I don't believe those motherfuckers just shot at me look on his face. Like, and he's just standing there like, you motherfucker, like, who the hell? And I'm like, yeah, that's
our sergeant major.
That's right. Had the biggest Tennessee flag ever attached to his antenna driving into Iraq. Like, shoot me, I dare you.
I dare you to shoot that shit at me.
I've got a great picture of it.
That is fantastic. I mean,
he's a character. He's something else.
I mean, and then of course when the chemical alarms go off, oh no, it's a malfunction. Oh no, malfunction again. You know,
all the batteries failed at the same time, which is what they tried to tell us.
Yeah, across the floor. Right. Yeah, the French, their shit was going off.
What's coming the way the wind blows?
It's fine. It's fine. You're fine.
You're fine. Take it off. Take it off. You're fine. You know,
such a baby. Take it off.
You do talk about new equipment. That was one thing I was very glad to have was the Fox vehicles that they were able to send down, because when that happened, both before we got up there, Jerry, it happened to y'all before we got up there, and then it happened again after we got up there.
Mm-hmm.
They were able to actually determine what was in the air.
Yeah,
so there's no doubt that it was there. It's not guesswork. I mean, it was, you know, at one point I had the paper readout. I don't know where it is now.
Yep. Well, there was the little 256 kits. We did that and got a whatever, and then the Fox came and confirmed that was correct. So then, all right. So
no, that's
didn't see anything in the core log journals about it though. I've gone through those several times.
Yeah,
ain't that amazing? Somehow that page left. You know, and this
118th Airborne Corps screwed up and put them online, so I went through them very carefully, and there's nothing.
that is just absolutely crazy. I mean,
no, it's stupid. It's stupid what it is. Look, this happened. Don't tell us. Again, you want to say, who the hell are you talking to? This happened to us. We're sitting here and all these alarms are going off. This isn't coincidence. There's something up here. We're just telling you it happened. Right. So 35 years later, this happened to us. We can confirm it happened to us. So use that as a data point, right? Use it as a data point. Maybe this might happen again. Maybe somebody will think of this as a way of slowing you down.
Did they happen to send y'all letters later on that y'all possibly could be exposed?
They sent it in 1998.
Did you guys get the Camasia letter then? Is that what you're referring to?
No, it's not.
Never got anything.
Okay.
But you got to remember too, when you're on active duty, you move. I mean, you would think so. I never got one, but
I never got one either. Yeah.
I think a lot of them it was hit and miss. I actually had a couple of my guys contact me, and I had to speak to the VA forum to confirm that they had been exposed because they were having difficulties and they wouldn't believe them.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Had to witness
really starting to come out now, and I think you're going to see a lot more recognition of that because of stuff like this book and some other stuff where hey, we're there. It's like, hey, we're not making this up. You know.
Let me tell you what the people.
What was that area, Colonel? What was that area that you guys were at? Where you were the Sarin?
We were in TAA Campbell near Rafa, and the people that say this didn't happen weren't there.
right now, yeah. I'm a geek like that.
No, it's like you look it up, you'll see it's out there. It's you're like, okay, that's where they were. Okay.
It's not just us. We were on the flank of the 101st, and we were butt up against the French.
Yep,
right.
So you guys came toward us, went right over into the French.
Yeah, their stuff went off. The 82nd, you guys were west of us.
You guys, the second 101st French. Yeah,
absolutely.
I've literally gotten letters from people from France. I literally gotten letters from, or emails, not letters, but emails from Europe and all them saying the same thing.
Right. Yeah. There's three different newspaper articles. There was a Washington Post in 1996. There was a New York Times 1998, and there was a USA Today 2012. And all of them referenced 1st Brigade, 101st Airborne Division. Well, that's us, right? The 1996, the one that I put in the book, it quotes the brigade chemical officer, right? That's the guy they're talking to, right? So this is not like, well, you're pulling the shit out of your butt. No, I'm not, right? This happened to us. And that's why we had numerous people tell the story of what happened. Because again, to say it didn't happen, when somebody says that, I'm going, were you there? Have you researched this? And the answer is no, you haven't. You weren't there and you didn't research it. You're, for whatever reason, I don't know. I don't care what the reason is. Just tell the freaking truth.
Yeah.
I've always wondered if he put anything inside the oil wells when he blew them up. You know, you just don't know. I mean, Saddam wasn't stupid.
Who knows?
That's one thing about it. He wasn't stupid at all. Well, besides not giving his men food and water, but otherwise than that.
Where we were 400 miles from the oil wells. We were way on the other side of the theater of operations, the far west side, the Hail Mary part. So whatever what we got from the oil wells is we got drops of it on our uniforms. That's what we got.
Yeah. The chocolate chips actually got some more chips.
Yeah.
We got more chips.
Yep.
That is just absolutely crazy. Is there anything any of y'all would like to add? Anybody? I'll start with Richard. Richard?
You know, it was neat because we got to, I was a motorman, but I was a driver. We talked about the Humvees. I got to hang out with the scouts and drive them around and go through some bunkers. And as a history guy, I went through one of the bunkers. I found a K-98, 1944 with German markings on there. I found a bunch of cool stuff. And I was like a kid in a candy store going through bunkers that should have been booby trapped. You know, you'd think they would have done that. But we were going through all sorts of stuff. And at that time, you know, hanging out with the scouts, that was a neat time to do all this stuff. We found so much stuff. The picture that's on that book, I was on the right side of that. You know, I was in that picture. It was just neat to see all the equipment that we captured. It was just a neat time. I mean, looking back on that, of all the experiences in the Army we've had, that was just a neat time, that 25th, 26th of February, 1991.
That is, hey, but hold up that big picture that you had earlier about the book. About the book.
So that right there.
Right there. Now, you tell me he didn't frame that, guys. I'm telling you right now, that's freaking awesome. And so, Ken, anything you'd like to add?
No, sir. Just as I said, there are magic units, and this was the most magic. I just it was a wonderful time for me in the 101st. And the absolute best soldiers and NCOs and young officers I've ever had in my life. And I can't give them enough credit for all they did. They held everything together no matter what was thrown at them.
Oh, man, that's so well said. Jerry?
I like one last plug for my buddy Jesus down there. When they told us, Ken and I, we weren't privy to all the histrionics that were going on between Frank,
thank God,
and getting the LZ. We didn't know any of that. All we knew is they called it whatever, and they said, "Hey, look, there's a potential enemy force on the primary landing zone. We're moving it south about a mile." And we looked at each other, Ken and I, and went, "Okay, fuck, whatever. I mean, land here, land there, whatever. I mean,
it's all desert."
It's all desert. And we looked. I said, "What do you?" I asked him I remember asking him as we left the tent. I said, "What do you think?" And he said, "Well." He goes, if Gonzalez and Gonzalez and Delgado say it, then there's probably something to it. Like those guys, they know what the fuck they're doing, so there's probably something to it. And as it turns out, there was something to it.
Yeah,
so
there's definitely something to it. Jesus?
Absolutely, great folks, thinkers, smart guys.
Yep.
Yeah. I'd like to definitely say this. We had a tremendous staff, leadership, Colonel Hancock. Because think about this. If I would have had a different commander, this would have not happened, right? He probably would tell me, you're full of it. But no, Colonel and the staff, Major Dempsey. And remember that the platoons were staffed with E6s and E7s. The S2 and the S3, they were given E7s and E8s. And these E7s and E8s were infantry guys or whatever they were. They're coming from Fort Bliss. You tell me what I need to do. They were helping me putting the in and redoing, rerouting, replotting. And they were just looking at me like, you tell us what you and Delgado, tell us what we need to do because we don't have any intel experience. And so we were looking at message traffic and everything. But the big point I'm trying to make here is this is we talk about magic. I mean, we had a great battalion commander and company commanders and all that all the way on down. And it made me a better intel guy throughout my career. This was a reflection of my career later on that I became an instructor. And the reason I became an instructor and I was very successful at it, because I'm looking at these privates that are coming in from, Kentucky, whatever, Maine and all that stuff. And they're trying to be intel guys like me back then. And I was able to teach them because I was in combat unit with these wonderful gentlemen, these heroes, and they taught me what infantry was all about. If I was not in the 100, I would not be the instructor that I am, and other things that happened in my career. And then to become a civilian, I became a special agent in the civilian world because I wanted to continue to fight and keep going at it and finding bad guys and to keep our country safe. That was all a tribute. That was all part of the 101st. The 101st was the beginning. And but I give credit to, I will always honor this unit for the rest of my life. As an intel guy, I couldn't have it any better. I had the tremendous bunch of guys, all these guys here, and some of the guys that we haven't mentioned, but Captain Delgado and Sergeant Smiley and some others were mentors there in that Brigade S2 staff. And, all the credit goes to the leadership, for listening to me and Captain Delgado, because without these guys, and then these heroes here, these infantry guys, they had to go out there and perform. Once we moved, they were performing and they were very professional. And we kicked butt. And the credit goes to all these guys in the infantry. I'll tell you, they kicked butt, they did their thing, and there was definitely divine intervention, and that's why we're talking about this today.
I think that's badass, man. Colonel?
Have you just got to, okay, so all these young folks here that I'm looking at, like we're so close. We really are. It's hard to explain. You probably think I'm crazy, but we're really close with them. And when I extend out to the rest of the battalion, it's the same way, right? You go through this thing and it's a damn near miss. And Jesus stole my divine intervention, right? I'm giving Jesus, I'm giving his boss, Jose Delgado, and then I'm giving these guys, and we're given a big conundrum. This is hard business. Right. And when you look at it, you go, you guys were lucky. And you're going, yes, we were. We were lucky. We were very, very lucky. We were also pretty good. They were pretty good. Like I say, I go back to Jesus, Rich, John, Jerry. They were professionals. And that army at that time could handle these extremely hard situations. And when you land short of somebody that's got all these people dug in a hill and people are barking at you to get up the hill, and you got to figure out how to do your timing in space and to bring, you need professionals like these young men here to get it done. So it was an interesting odyssey for us all. And I just thank God I had blessed these guys to get it done. That's it.
And is your book out now?
It's out today, baby. It was B-Day, book day.
All right. And tell everybody
what the title finally become.
Operation Desert Storm, how 2 intelligence analysts and an infantry battalion changed the war in Iraq. Just saying, there it is, right there. Amazon is already, we have had ripples on Amazon, right?
Fantastic.
So oh yeah, we bumped in the top 10 in their different categories, and on Goodreads, we've had 11 people read it already and commented. They were all 5 stars and they were all very good comments. So it's a good book. Somebody said it's like a documentary, which we wanted it to be. A history book that tells the frickin' truth. This happened. So you deal with the facts however you want to, but this happened. And again, I had 27 people from a 4-star general to privates telling what happened in their realm, right? So I think it's a pretty good product.
Right. I totally agree. I mean, and that's like me and Wade, even though that, this is coming up real soon, just to hate to bring that up again.
We'll see. We'll see.
I mean,
Harvey's speaking at the right time.
But like me and Wade, he lives in different Iowa. I live in Texas. We met on here. This is what this is about. This is a documentary about our lives, about y'all's lives, everybody's lives. This is something that our great grandkids can go back and look and say, wait a second, it wasn't just a 100-hour war.
Right.
It's a family.
No, you're absolutely right. Desert Storm was a significant event for the U.S. military. I mean, it validated a lot of concepts. The tank battle that took place. Frank and I talk about this all the time. It was and still is the largest tank battle since Kursk in 1943 between the Nazis and the Soviets. I mean, yeah, that didn't just those Marines and those guys that had to breach those obstacles, those minefields, they didn't just walk through there. I mean, but we were able to do it as an Army, as a Navy, as an Air Force, as a Marine Corps, because we were so much better than they were.
Right.
And the Iraqis were no pushovers, man. I mean, they'd been fighting for 8 years. We were playing in their backyard. I mean, we're playing on their home field. But we were just a lot better.
Right.
And that started in 73.
Yeah. I mean,
it didn't just happen. It didn't just happen.
Right. I mean, if you really think about it, it's like the Army and the Navy game again. The Navy has the ball and they're scoring. The Army, the same way. No,
it's exactly like that. That's the analogy I was looking for. Right.
That's like what the SecDef said. What Secretary of Defense talked about us. I mean, we talked about that, Kevin, before the deal. I mean, look what he said about us, the Gulf War guys.
Yeah. We had to get back to that Army.
Yeah.
That Army, it was tough. It was a damn good Army. Absolutely.
It was. It really was. And I mean, I want to thank y'all all for coming on.
Thank you.
And we are about to go into the after show where I'm going to talk a whole lot more crap because I can. And if any of y'all want to reach out, y'all reach out to me at kevinsimon@goforcesideffects.com. Go over to our Patreon. Y'all can, and Facebook now, y'all can literally watch the after show, after it's done and everything. Y'all go support it. And, we're just here to bring out more about Desert Storm. And, Wade, thanks for coming on. I really appreciate it. And 101st, you guys, man, I love it. And so now we're going to go into the after show. Thank y'all for listening, and we will see y'all next week.